In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Pelikan M805 Demonstrator fountain pen. I'll go over the specs, I will do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. This is the Pelikan M805 fountain pen, and this is the demonstrator version, which was released in 2015. The retail price at the time, I believe, was $875, although the street price, I'm sure, was somewhere around $700, maybe a bit less than that. The M800 Series 805, it's a pen that I never tried until earlier this year, which is kind of crazy, and I regret that at this point because I absolutely love this pen. We talk about Pelikan pens. It really has all the standard features here. We have, on the finial, we have a Pelikan logo, which I don't know if it's sandblasted or what. Background here, so the Pelikan with a chick. We have sort of these tiered rings on the cap before going into the Pelikan bill clip. And then we have two trim rings, which say Pelikan, Germany, and Souverain. And then at the end, we have these two rings, and you can kind of see how they're actually connected. Normally you wouldn't see that, but because this is a demonstrator, you can see that there. And then we have the piston knob, and it just kind of shows the inner workings of the pen here. You can see these little rectangles here is sort of how it's all fitted together. There's threading here. It's neat to be able to see this, and this pen has really nice clarity to it. The plastic is a very good quality here, and you can see the piston plunger here and the part that holds the ink. I believe these hold around 2 milliliters of ink. At least that's what I was able to find. And you can see some of the ink in the section here. Nice grip section, and again, you have a trim ring. And if we look close at the nib, this is one of the newer style M800 nibs. It's 18 karat gold. This is a medium. And you have the Pelikan logo there, again, feeding a chick, and then some sort of scroll work on the top around the breather hole and the tines. Now, plastic feed. The older Pelikan M800 nibs had less of a flat profile than this. I do think they look maybe a little bit better, but this nib is really buttery smooth to write with. I've absolutely loved this nib. I'm normally not big on medium nibs, and when I got this, I thought, well, I'll send it to a nibmeister and we'll turn it into a cursive italic, but it writes so nice. I'm not going to be doing that. Threaded cap, and it does post very nicely here. Let's do some measurements. So uncapped, we're looking at about 123, posted about 165, and capped, looking at about 140 even. So nice size pen. This is basically a 146 size pen. I do not have a 146 to show you, but I'll do some comparisons with some other pens just so you get an idea of it. Now, the section is a little bit hard to see just because it's translucent, but it tapers a bit before flaring out. So 12.2 at the end there, and then at the sort of skinniest part, let's see if we can find that 10.8. Nice size grip section. It's not a very long grip section, and you really don't get a lot of places to hold this. That, I would say, is a big difference between this and like an Aurora Optima, which I would say would be a strong competitor to this, but it's very similar to a 146 grip section size wise. Now, in terms of the weight, looking at about 20.76 grams, and this isn't too full, and with the cap, 29 grams. So it's not light for a plastic pen. You have metal in the back of this, and when it is posted, it's a touch top heavy. Not too bad, but it works well for me. If you have bigger hands, that might not be an issue for you at all. It's like really borderline for me. If you have smaller hands, it'll be more pronounced. Do some comparisons real quick. Here it is with a Lamy Vista. It's a touch longer than this, and it's wider than this, and the nib is bigger. Here it is with a M620, which is an M600 size pen. Here it is with an Aurora Optima, and you can see it's quite a bit smaller than that, And in terms of Mont Blanc, it's Mont Blanc 149. It is noticeably smaller than the 149 here. If we look at the nibs, I think the Aurora Optima, this is the Africa, but it's basically an Optima. It's all the parts are the same. The nibs are a very similar size, but you have a much bigger grip section on the Optima. So, okay, let's do the writing sample. For the writing sample, I'm going to be using a Papermind Mitsubishi Bank Paper notebook. These notebooks are excellent with fountain pens, and for Blake's Broadcast viewers and subscribers, you can get 10% off with code BB10 at checkout. Pelikan M805 with a medium nib, and this is Waterman Serenity Blue. Oops, sorry. And if we do some fast writing, really nice flow out of this pen. It just, there is no, that was me, not the pen. Like the flow is very good. There's no skipping. It's just a super nice medium nib. Like I said before, I originally bought this and I thought, oh, I'll send it to a Nibmeister or something like that because I'm not too excited about mediums, but this writes so nicely, I'm not gonna touch it. It's very smooth, quite wet, and it is a newer Pelikan style nib, so it is flatter than the older ones. Now, it's pretty stiff. I would say this is pretty close to a nail. You can push on it a little bit and you'll get some line variation, but not by much. These are not soft like the older M800 nibs. So if you want a softer nib, look for the ones that have the PF hallmark on them, and they have a little bit more of a wrapped profile than this one, which is a bit more flat. Now, in terms of reverse writing, yeah, it seems like it works pretty well, and you do get a noticeable difference in the line there. This I think is actually finished pretty well on the back side. This isn't grabbing the paper very much at all. Very nice nib. Really like this. Great performer. So what are my pros and cons for the Pelikan M805 Demonstrator fountain pen? Well, I think for the M800 in general, this is one of the best fountain pen platforms to invest into, along with the Aurora Optima. I really think these are the two best modern pens that you can buy, just these series of pens. And the reason for that is they have an in-house nib that are threaded and that come in a lot of different nib sizes. So this is a medium, but I've ordered an italic broad, which is a new nib for Pelikan. I also have a 03B nib that fits this, which is a triple broad oblique. It also comes in a standard triple broad as well. There's just a lot of really nice options, similar to what you get in Aurora. And there are piston fillers, again, nice big size number 6 nibs. And it's just a very comfortable, excellent platform. I really think those are the two sort of best quote unquote platforms out there. Now that you could say the Mont Blanc 146 is a great pen, which it is, but the nibs aren't threaded. So, if you want to buy a bunch of different nibs to use in a couple bodies, you can't really do that easily with a 146, which is why I really think this is so excellent. I like the demonstrator body on this. I like the silver trim. It looks really good. Just nice clarity to it. You can really see everything that's happening in this pen, which is excellent. The nib is super smooth, wet, really enjoyable. I didn't think I was going to like the medium. I'm normally not a big medium person, but this is super nice. So I'm not going to be changing it or modifying it in any way. Now, in terms of cons, there is more metal in the back of these pens, so it is a bit more back weighted. With no cap, this is really comfortable. Long writing sessions, no problems for me. When you start putting the cap on, it does become a bit more top heavy for me. Now, if you have bigger hands, that might not be an issue. So in that respect, I do think that the Optima is better because it's not so heavy. Also, the Optima does have a bigger grip section, quite a bit longer, whereas this, your options for where you can hold the pen are not as abundant. So it's a downside there, but I do find this very, very comfortable. The other downside is I don't believe they make the clear version of this anymore. That's unfortunate. I do believe they make a green translucent one, although I don't think it's, to me, I don't like the look of it as well. The other thing is, you know, the price of these pens, I believe the retail in 2015 was $875, which is a lot. You know, in the $400 range, these are really, really nice pens. I'd say $400 to $500 range, similar to Optima. If you get them in that price range, they're very, very nice. But that's pretty much it. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comment section below if you like this video. Please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.